want some tuna? Good girl. I know you want your tuna. Oh, is it good? You got it? And Daddy hold it for you. Come on. Come on. Daddy hold it. Daddy hold it for you. Easy. Easy when Daddy holds it for you. Dang you, bang you. Oh, my tuna doggy. You're my tuna doggy, huh? Clean as a whistle. Good girl. Wash all Daddy's kitty balls, don't ya? Got a little fire going. Major storm up there today. What you doing, girl? Huh? Warming up. Major storm out there, guys. Cheers. Good morning. God bless y'all. Oh, bang, bang. How are you? It's 4:30 in the morning, honey. Come on. You've had cat food already. And you're a doggy. We're trying. I woke up, my door was wide open. I let my dog out and then I didn't close it properly, so lost all my heat in the cabin. But anyways, we're awake. Got a major windy snowstorm. We're expected 2 feet of snow. Started snowing a couple hours ago, but temperatures dropped. It's in the teens. Come on, honey. You ready? Anyways, we just got done digging out from a 3-foot storm about a week ago. We're still recovering from that, huh, Bear? Dang you guys, right, Coon? Dang you. Oh, you want some trouble? You want some trouble, Big Bear? Dang you, Bear. It's coffee time, not doggy time. It's coffee time, Bear. Bear. You're up in Oakland, right on. Yeah, I'm in Michigan. Excuse me. Pardon me. I guess the storm's like all in the UP and Chicago. It's a big one. I didn't look at it today, but you know, every day is a storm in this life. That's why you got to be close to God. Every day's a storm. Oh, really? Well, what took you up to Oakland? Most people don't move to Oakland. I grew up in Southern California myself, went to San Bernardino High School, and then moved to Hollywood. Then I moved to Venice Beach, and then I spent a lot of time summers up harvesting in Northern Cali. Weaverville, Emerald Triangle area off the 299 up there. Nice country right on the Eel River, and pretty nice up there. Well, I like Chicago a lot for a city. I'm an art guy. I think Chicago's got the greatest art in the world, personally. I love their museums. Oh, I see, brother. Yeah, it's crazy. No, when I hear Oakland, it's just, you know what I mean? It's like anywhere in Cali anymore nowadays, it's running wild. You know, California used to be awesome in the 80s, 60s, 70s, and 80s probably. It's still cool and stuff. And I'm doing all kinds of good art right now. I've got a couple hundred paintings here. I do a lot of underwater scenes. This painting right here is 6 feet long by 3 feet. I've got a lot of underwater stuff, but come on, you want to come up, big boy? Good boy. Whoa. I'm doing print work right now for my website. I've got a couple hundred paintings under there. I do a lot of abstract fish. I'll show you some of my work real quick here since you asked. I'm kind of lately hooked on doodles. I do a lot of doodle art, but I will show you real quick. I don't want to bore you, but I will show you. Let me turn the light on towards us. There we go. Let's just flip through them real quick, huh? These are all 8x8s. I'm printing them off 8x10s, and they'll be matted and framed 8x11. Kind of weird, the dimensions, but these are some self-portrait, abstract self-portrait type things. These are pen and inks. This is another self-portrait. A couple of these, this week I'm printing these large format. This one's going to be 4 feet by 4 feet. I'm going big with a lot of these. That's why I like printing my art. These are all originals, watercolor, but these are ink and watercolor. We'll just keep on moving through. I've got a lot of those. More self-portraits. More self-portraits. Well, I just work for myself, so me being busy is doing my art, taking care of the huskies and stuff. Cabin life. This one, getting a lot of crazy comments on it. People are ready for me to print this one off. I didn't even like one, but for some reason people like it. But anyways, I appreciate it. Never gonna complain if somebody likes my stuff. As you see, I do a lot of detailed work. You know, dimensional, layers upon layers. Anyways, we'll keep rolling here. I do a lot of cartoon work. Oh, doggies want to come out. Come on, good boy. Oh, good job. Yeah, this is just one one little phase because I don't have a lot of space to work on my big stuff, so I'm doing doodle stuff. I personally don't take any of this stuff too serious, but I certainly enjoy doing it. The colors and the imagery. You know, as artists, we're just constantly evolving anyway, trying to, push the envelope. So that's all I do with every one of my paintings. I'm just working on pushing the envelope for myself, trying to come up with some cool imagery. I do a lot of cartoon stuff. I do a lot of abstract characters here. Everywhere you look, I got characters, abstract faces. I do a lot of commentary. I do a lot of stuff about the good Lord Jesus coming back to earth. I do a lot of mosaic stuff. This one resembles a mosaic. Painted like a mosaic is what I mean. I don't do glass work. But anyways, I can actually show you my real portfolio. I've got pushing 1,000 paintings right now in my portfolio. There's a building that I'm working on. This one's called the Temple. Somewhere in Europe. I saw it on TikTok. I was attracted to the colors. I just started doing this. Well, about a month ago I started, but I haven't been back to it yet. It's got to have a lot of signs, a lot of detail. This has Christmas trees up here. It's a pretty cool building. It's called the Temple. Here's another abstract one. Oh, I got a kitty out here? No way. Oh, that's you. I thought it was a kitty outside. I thought I had a kitty outside. No way. Yeah, I do sell my art. The prints. Here's some abstract landscapes. Just working on this one, kinda. Here's a poltergeist looking scary one. At least people say that. This one's scary. Maybe because it looks like a... I don't know why. It looks scary, but don't look scary to me. This was actually spilled water. Just made a painting out of it. Anyways, I gotta get back to my coffee. I'll show you my portfolio here in a minute if you'd like to see my art. Why is it so dark over here? Well, that's what it is. Let me do this. I can't come off like that, Daddy. There. Get some light on the situation. I gotta leave pretty soon. I gotta drive out to Gaylord. I'm getting my truck done today. Tuned up my brakes, my couple different things. I've got well, thanks for looking. Inspirational mixed meeting. Love you, my friend. Appreciate that. Been getting a lot of haters on my live streams in the morning, but that's just life. I don't take them personal, but sure is nice when a nice person comes on once in a while. You know what I mean? Nice people are awesome. Yeah, I do try to. It's just every morning I've had this one guy just, saying I'm out here cracking it up, meth house, and I'm like, really? Why does a cabin in the woods have to be a drug house? You know what I mean? This is the furthest thing from a drug life. But anyways, well, I did block him yesterday after letting him come on my live stream for like 3 days, humiliating me. I finally realized you could block people. It don't hurt my feelings because I don't have feelings, but gray would be the color if I did have a heart. I'm conditioned like that, but anyways, no, my prints are not expensive. Matter of fact, my fans get prints free. So I often mail free prints to people. Pay for the postage and you can have one. I don't care. Well, thank you. Well, my favorite book was called A Peaceful Warrior. It's about Siddhartha and how he grew up. Anyways, yeah, I gotta go get my truck looked at today. My back brake lines. I replaced the one myself, but I didn't have anybody to help me bleed my brakes, so those are a little soft. There's a trick if you don't have anybody to pump the brakes when you're doing them. If you just, when you're reinstalling your brake line, for example, if you don't connect, you connect all of them and leave one of them disconnected, the reservoir naturally drains down through gravity, and you wait until that oil till your brake fluid comes out and starts dripping. It takes about 10 minutes. And in general, most of the air is pushed out of that brake line because the fluid comes down. And I did do that, but there could have been a bubble or two in there. So that's why I'm going out today to get this thing ready and then getting my pre-plow package. Oh, well, God is good. I got doggies outside. No, we're here. I don't know where my kitty went. Well, am I going to snow blow before I go? I don't even know. I woke up and went live. No score, no hockey scores, no football scores to look at. So I just turned it on and went live. I didn't even look at. It's been howling wind all night. I woke up with snow on my face because my door was cracked, and one of my dogs came through and pushed it open, and I was sleeping. So woke up to snow hitting my face. Anyways, that's cabin life. You know you're alive when you live out here. Shout out to my crazy family, crazy sister, Mama Dukes. Fucked it up. Just like her brother. We stick together like that, don't we, sis? Shout out to my other sisters, too. They got their shit going on. And shout out to my crazy dad, my crazy ma. All of our crazy family that's dead already. Had some rock stars in my family, but geez, oh man. Cost to be the boss. I got one nephew that I think he's having a baby. My mom told me that he's pregnant, so to speak. Hard to keep up with all the kids. They all are having a bunch of kids lately, but he's a little bit old to have children. I think well, if I'm 54 in February, he's going to be, I would say he's 41 this March. That'd be my guess. That's my alarm, but I wake up way before my alarms. That's just my... Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Yeah, we have 3 cats who are most likely in the RV right now. And, well, 1 kitty's right there. And then 4 dogs. 4 dogs and 3 cats. 4 doggies and 3 kitties. That's how we do it. Right, guys? Yeah, but I won't tell you enough about how... I don't know if you guys run hot or run cold, but I'm pretty much barefoot most of the year. Obviously, I don't walk around in the snow barefoot, but I'm barefoot until I go outside, and even then, I'm minimum. But anyways, my question is, have you ever bought these black shoes with the fur in them? Holy hell. Talking about a sauna. Like, the reason I'm asking, I'm just wondering if it's just my feet, but that's like maximum overload for. I'm just curious if anybody, it might just be because they're plastic, and then you got hair, or fur rather, or whatever this is called. Not hair or fur. But anyways, I'm just curious. Make my freaking toes melt. That's how hot they are. I'd rather be a little bit cold than a little bit hot any day of the year. We're not a hot family. My wife being from Thailand, she can't stand the heat. And then my huskies don't really love the hot. And then me, I kind of do enjoy sun, but not hot. Yeah, they're warm. Yeah, Crocs. You know, I've got a couple pair of them. Like, you know, these ones here. I love my Crocs. These are actually work safe Crocs. And then these ones here. But then she bought me a pair with the fur in them, the liners, but they're hot. Too hot for me. Make my toes melt. I'm not gonna blow. I was thinking about snow blowing before I left, but this big storm coming all day, so I don't know what I'm gonna do while my car is getting fixed, but sit there, I guess. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hot weather. Like I said, I've lived in some tropical places too. The southernmost hemisphere in the United States, for example. And boy, oh boy. But you know, you get acclimated living down in the Keys. You wake up and it ends up being nothing to you after a couple of years of being down there. You know what I mean? 100-degree mornings, normal. Let me see. Who's outside? I got doggy. Get doggies. Doggy? Yeah, I got doggy. I got doggy outside. Hi, girl. Hi, girl. Good job. It's funny. Huskies are, even our doctor says how we have drama. Hello, Ardra Bill Dixon. My dog was crying about a month ago, and he was looking towards his butt, so we took him to the doctor, and he had a little pimple on his butt, and they gave him 100 pills and $300 later. Anyways, the doctor's like, it's just a little cyst. She's like, but do you realize huskies are drama, right? Oh, I get it, yeah, but who wants a bump on their ass? You know what I mean? But point was is she's like, yeah, he's crying way harder than it hurts him. Anyways, let's fast forward till now. Last night our snowstorm came and the huskies were just out there standing in it, all four of them. But what it is the competition. They come in to show daddy who's got the most snow on them. So one to come out there, they'll stand. If it was, you know, if there was a fountain of snow, they'd stand under it just to come in to be show-offs, is my point. It's so cute. They all come in with like this much snow on them. They don't shake or nothing. They just want to show mom and dad, you know. Anyways, same with anything. They're just drama. Right, guys? You gotta know the husky psychology. I say that every day. Anyways, yeah, they're cute. That's the point. That's the point. You know, any other dog, when they get wet, they shake. Not huskies. They come in and let everybody see all the snow on them, and then they shake. It's like, really? 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 We have 4 huskies here. I'm thinking about, I don't know who's watching this, but I'm thinking about buying a husky for buying a puppy for Christmas for my wife, surprising her. Husky number 5. We got our animals fixed, so we're not having any more litters. Actually, we kept our male not fixed. Our female's fixed, so we kept him not fixed just because we didn't know if we were gonna have one more litter, but now he's like 10 already, so he deserves a little loving though. Oh, very nice. That's awesome. American Bully. Yeah, we didn't get him neutered. I forget if it was neutered or spayed for the males, but we left our dog normal. And now the time's gone by, and I'm like, well, should I have done that? But the way I look at it naturally, back in the day, there were no doctors out clipping balls on wild canine, you know what I mean? I think the natural way is to let him have his balls, but my doctors always said, oh, they're going to get cancer if you don't fix them, or they get too, well, we all die anyway, so we're going to run the course on this one. But it's that fear factor. Modern medicine, they want us to take a pill for everything, a surgery. They want us to be on health system regimens, you know, pills this, pills that. So your vet's no different than your doctor. It's all corporate America, don't be fooled. It's all Pfizer and all the other satanistic corporations, animal testers. My senior year in college, I got offered a job at Pfizer. This was in 2003. I graduated in 2004, so it was the beginning of my senior year. And that's what, down at U of M and Eastern Michigan, all the recruiters, they know all the students and when they're graduating, they know when. So they start offering career positions to people that are just about to graduate. And I thought heavy. I went to art school, so I was like, well, why would I want to go into the drug field, Pfizer? But anyways, I researched the position. It was close to 50 grand, and this was back in 2000, early 2000s, you know what I mean? So it was good money back then. But my aunt was in healthcare, and my Aunt Sue, and then my dad's girlfriend, I guess, Sandy, she was in there. Anyways, they both had told me that Pfizer, they're big into animal testing, and then I did the research for this particular local company, and that's all they did. They were just testing animals to push products to see what products worked, and they used animals. I said, oh, hell no. And that was my one stint with potentially doing healthcare. But nope. Well, yeah, I was honored to get offered a position, but I'm not doing 3-headed animals, 8-legged dogs, and you know what I mean? No, thank you. Oh, yeah, well, same with my mother. She's old school, like 76 or something like that. She ain't that old, but old enough to be old school. And they don't take their animals for nothing. I'm guilty. We took our Huskies, and we do take our Huskies every couple months, but we cut it off. You know, they were sending us something. Every month we'd have to go to the vet. Anyways, now I just go basically twice a year. We go once a year for them to get all of their shots and to get their tags. You can't get their licenses unless they're up to date with all their shots, which I want them up to date with all their shots. I have no problem with that. My problem with my vet is that before I even get into the door, they charge us $125 for a visit. Just to set the appointment up, before you're even in the door, it's a $125 fee. That's the only thing I don't like. So there's other vets in my community that don't do that, but we've been with our vet for already like 10 years, You know, so it's hard to make the transition. The same doctor, we're all in the system. You know what I mean? But they're not cheap. They are not cheap. So expensive. Right now, I have my dogs on castor oil. My one dog has a bump on her, a little bump on her belly, so I'm putting castor oil on it. You know, holistic healing as opposed to poking a needle in there and doing a biopsy, seeing if it's cancerous. The minute they poke a needle into the tumor or whatever it is, it spreads. Grab some water. Excuse me. Anyways, turn it over to God. I don't worry about all of it like I used to anymore. Well, you know, it's like when you're old and you get your first bubble, your first saggy eye. I'm like, what the fuck's this? You know, and then my aunt says, well, you're 50, man. Welcome to the adulthood. You get bags under your eyes. I'm like, well, damn. Out of nowhere, I just got a bag under my eye. But my point is, it's a natural thing, man. Same with an aging dog. They start to get tumors. They start to get gray hair. They start to get limps. They start to get joint and muscle. It's natural. It's called dying. You know, so don't freak out. You got to run to your doctor and put pills in their belly. No, thank you. If it's not from a plant extract, it don't belong in your body. Yeah, I'm in my 50s already. I can't believe it. I never looked back. I've been on the road traveling pretty much most of my life. Even when I didn't want to travel, I had to go back and forth out west, and I had an awesome girlfriend when I was 15, and my parents all the way to California from Michigan and made me break up with a girlfriend. Then I found a new girlfriend out there, and then lived out there from I was like 16 till 18. Then my mom made me move back because her and my stepdad got back together. So they drugged me all across the country. But anyways, they moved me back when I was 18. I came back for like 4 months of high school at Arthur Hill. I graduated with my friends. About 2 weeks after I graduated, I packed up my car, and me and one of my friends moved straight back to Hollywood. Moved right into my cousin Mike's apartment. But anyways, rest in peace, Mike. My cousin just died. They found him dead in Las Vegas, on the streets of Las Vegas. I already know what he was doing, but I'll never say it. But rest in peace, my cousin. He was my inspiration growing up. He's the reason I moved to California when I was a kid. But anyways, yeah, I'm 53 right now. Be 54 in February. And it goes frickin' quick. But I'm happy, man. I've lived a good life. I've pretty much have lived a career-free life, which works for me. The average person is all golden and cushy and comfy in their bed. I've never been that guy. I've never had too many luxurious comforts in my life. I did national parks. I did the van life for all through the 90s. I was in the back of a van. I met my wife when I was living in a van. True story. I was living in a van working in Shenandoah National Park. That's how I met my wife. But anyways, I've never had a comfortable, plushy house on the hill with everything in order. Who wants that? My death, that's what my death looks like. My life doesn't need to look like that. My death is already planned out. You got it? My death is all comfortable and cushy. I'm not talking about leading up to my death. I'm talking about my death. When I'm gone, it's all said and done. It's the plan, man. You get it? So why does my life need to be organized? It doesn't. Your death is already figured out. It's for sure. It's coming. Life, just let it happen, man. Who needs the structure like that? I'm talking about monetary, people. Monetary only. My spiritual growth is exponential. You know what I mean? Anybody that knows me realizes that pretty much you can't penetrate me. My older sister, Debbie, she's got tough skin too. She's been through the fucking ringer. I'm not gonna lie, she's been through hell and back. And nobody points fingers. We're not pointing fingers at her. She's not pointing fingers. But, you know, I'm pretty proud of her. She came on my live stream the other day. Anyways, you know, nothing's easy in life. It's just what you make of it in the end. It's who you become during those hardships. Me personally, I became the person that doesn't want to associate with a lot of people. And I'm proud of myself. I'm not mad at me. Are you guys mad at you? I'm not mad at me. Are you mad at you? Don't be mad at you, okay? You need to love you. I'm trying to love me like God loves me. Jesus loves me. I want to love me like unconditional love. Like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay to be right where you're at. It's okay to not want what everybody else wants, if that's the case. Or want what everybody wants, if that's the case. It's okay to be an individual, is my point. There is no less or more. You know, one man's fortune is another man's nightmare, and another man's garbage is another man's fortune. So I'm out here living in a box with nothing, but I'm happy. I'm happy tomorrow. I was happy yesterday, and I'll be happy in a week. You know what I mean? Circumstances arise. Don't get me wrong. I'm not living a perfect hunky-dory life. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. My wife's not happy like I am out here. I'll make that clear. No shame in my game. This is life. We're talking real talk. But, you know, I wasn't going to be happy getting a mortgage with a $300,000 loan. So we had to compromise. We own this. This is rent-free. We're saving our money. So my point is, we got a little bit of what I wanted. We're saving our money. Our future will be nothing but for her. You know what I mean? So we have to take baby steps to get where we need to be, but it's not going to be contemporary life. It's not going to be through the banks. It's not going to be what society wants. It's going to be what the hell I feel is best for this family. I hate to say it, but I brought my wife here from Thailand. She doesn't know the fundamentals of this country. She doesn't know how it works. She doesn't have structure behind her to back her. She's got an American dream, a vision of an American dream, but the American dream is a facade anyway. You're looking at the new American dream, living off grid, living mortgage free without a bank, living rent free. We own this little shithole, and we're saving our checks. You know what I mean? That's the American dream, having the freedom and the ability to do what you want to do. I'd rather live in a shithole rent free than a 10-bedroom house that you don't even go into the bedrooms. You got plastic on all the furniture. You got to take your shoes off before you come in the door. You know what I mean? That's not living for me. I'm a dirty kid. And there is no right or wrong. Trust me. I have a millionaire cousin, his millionaire wife. Together, they're millionaires. He couldn't come in here and do this lifestyle if I paid him. He physically could do it. That ain't what I mean, but I'm just saying different folks, different strokes is all I was saying. You know what I mean? And I probably couldn't go to his house and live in a 30-bedroom house on the lake. Lost. I'd be lost in a mansion like that. That's never been my style. When I paint houses, I have a small painting company. Spring, summer, and fall, I paint houses. And when I go into these houses up in Grand Traverse and Petoskey, they're all $1 million homes, but they're completely soulless. You get in them, there's plastic on everything. The paintings on the walls are still covered. They've been there 2 months. Just came back from Florida. They've already been there 2 months. They haven't even taken, it's like so unhuman and there's no warmth. I can't explain it, but it's just an experience I don't want. Like this, I got dirt on the floor, dust on the wall. I got animals pooping and peeing, and this is real living, man. For me, like experiencing it. Dirty fingernails, slivers in my fucking toes, hauling water, hauling wood. Like it's alive. I'm alive. I'm fully alive. My prayers, like everything I do, everything is a purpose out here. Anything I do is through the Lord. Let me make that clear. I'm not going shopping for tires today on my truck without clarity from the Lord. Like I relax in his presence and I wait for his answers. And that's why I'm sitting here looking like a dummy, slow motion. Because I wait for the Lord to answer my prayers. And I'm not out praying, oh, can I have can I have? That ain't what I mean. I'm asking for clarity, not gifts. I'm not asking for money, people. We're asking for clarity and strength. Yeah, the Arkansas, it's a hidden gem. People don't realize Arkansas, there's more minerals in Arkansas. People, that's one of the hottest spots on the planet. They go out there and find all kinds of rocks. There's actually a state park in Arkansas. I forget the name of it, but there's diamonds out there. It might be is Crater Lake out there? Anyways, I recommend that. We're up in the snow belt. It's a little cold. I think ideally to live off grid. I have electric here. We don't have anything else except a cord. We have electric here, and I'm grateful for that. I can plug in a heater if I needed it or whatever. But we don't have water. We don't have the amenities like that. But my point is, it's not the greatest. If I was to choose the perfect climate to live off grid, it wouldn't be northern Michigan. I would say, quite honestly, like maybe Kentucky, or I don't know as far as Georgia, but a little bit of a warmer, moderate temperature to where you could grow your vegetables a little bit longer and have a better growing season. And that would be about it. I'm actually studying, and you'll see this year, but there's a lot of hardy root vegetables that can grow year round in our climate up here. You just have to have the knowledge. The natives lived up here year round and they grew vegetables, but there's shelters you can make. We got doggies out. Wow, it's so cold. Just not really kicking, but we got temperatures dropped. What time is it? 5:20. About an hour. I gotta get out there in about an hour. Start looking at my yard, loading up. Gotta do water today, truck repairs today. I got a few things we gotta do. Oh, really? Yeah, strength and clarity. That's all you got to do. The Lord's amazing. I get excited when one person even agrees with me about Jesus. That's the greatest thing about social media. I could have 1,000 haters watching me, but I keep my channel on. It's the same watch time. It's all for your algorithm. It don't matter if you're hating or loving. It's the same person. You get it? If you're watching, you're watching. But anyways, it sure is nice when somebody loves Jesus. I'm like, dude, That's the family I want to start on social media. None of this other stuff means anything. I don't like my wood pile. I like the fact that you love Jesus like I love Jesus. That's the compatibility I'm searching for on this planet. That's the family I love. That's the family I need. And we can convert the others, but you get that foundation of like-minded Christians, we're unstoppable together. We could build rainbow bridges. Well, I gotta get probably 20 gallons of gas, load up all my gas cans. I gotta get 100 gallons of water today. And that's if my truck gets fixed. And then I have a lot of stops today. Would I live this life when I'm 70? Will I be able to haul this water when I'm 70? Excuse me, little runny nose. You know what I mean? Could I keep up with my lifestyle when I'm 70 here? This is a lot of, I exert, look at me, I'm skin and bones. I mean, I eat decent, but I burn a lot of calories out here. The minute I shut this phone down, I start my wood pile, I shovel snow. You know, I got to shovel 100 yards just to get to my snowblower. We're just talking here, calories. Then I run my Huskies. You know, this lifestyle is awesome. But you work for everything. If you want to stay warm, you work for it. If you need water, you're working for it. If you want to cook, you're starting your fire, you're heating up your skillets, and you're working for it. If you want to use the bathroom, you're getting dressed and you're going outside and using the outhouse. You know what I mean? So this is not no rest for the wicked, so to speak, out here. And that's why I laugh, because off-grid is so trendy right now, but 90% of society would melt and buckle living this lifestyle. It's glamorous when it's on YouTube. Same with the van life, parked down by the river, making some coffee. That's until you shut your camera off and a bunch of hoodlums come up and smash your window out while you're in your van sleeping, or the cops knock on your door at 2 a.m. and enrage you while you're in your underwear. I've had it all happen to me doing the van life way before social media. I was doing van life before we had cell phones. Anyways, I'm not cool, but my point is there's nothing glamorous about van life. It's a struggle. And I did van life working in all the national parks. You know, I was making 20 to 25 grand every 5 months switching parks, because it's rent-free working in the parks. Save all your money, go to the next park. Save all your money, go to the next park. It's freaking awesome life. The only reason I stopped is because I got married and my wife didn't want to travel. Or I would have did, you know, and we still will do one day. But I would have did the national parks. That would have been my life career. I already had 10 years under my belts in the parks. So Yellowstone and Shenandoah primarily. But anyways, yeah, no, it's hard to get used to out here. We're gonna get our well and septic probably this spring, maybe. I don't know. I have a couple things on my mind before that, to be honest. I have a couple personal things that I want to do. But anyways, I could do them both. But what was I saying? It's no less than 15 grand to get my well out here, and then another 6,500 for the septic. So I need a good 20 grand cash this spring, which that's my painting company money. You know, I don't make a bunch in my short season, but I average about that, 25 grand in a couple months. Usually every year I get to buy a couple things with our painting company money. But anyways, we're not even sure if this is home out here. Like, this was never supposed to be full time. So we're just in transition. We don't know. I gotta get a happy wife here, man. I don't have a happy wife right now. So until that happens, that may never happen. I don't know if even such a thing as that, but until that happens, you know. Yeah, hauling your water. Water's heavy. Let me make that clear. Water is real heavy. I go to the local well on the Manistee River, and I pump about 30 of these big boys. But the well gets frozen, so right now I have to go somewhere to Gaylord and buy water. Well, we buy our drinking water anyways, but I love the well water at the river. It's called Goose Creek Campground on the Manistee River. It's off of 612 here, in between here and Kalkaska, basically. It's about, I don't know, 8 to 10 miles from my cabin. But they have a hand pump that I use. Michigan, you got to get a park pass to go into the parks, or you can't even enter the park, so you have to have a P on your license plate. All three of our vehicles have those P's because I frequent the parks. I take my Huskies camping on the Manistee a lot. We have a favorite camp spot out there. It happened, ironically, we camp right under an eagle's nest, and it's not every year that they're there, but when they're there, it's the mom and the dad eagle, and I think it's the dad that primarily just flies around. He never goes to the nest, but the mom's always in the nest. And anyways, you could watch that whole ecosystem. 2 or 3 summers I've watched those eagles up there. And speaking of eagles, we have a couple on our trail that I haven't seen this winter, but in the spring and summer, especially in the early spring, those eagles are in the same tree up there flying around. I've never seen babies, but we always see the same 2 eagles, and that's going off towards 612. Eagles are spiritual and good luck, and it's something I want to be in the spiritual realm. Like my native animal definitely has eagle in it. You know what I mean? My totem animals. Well, we have a bathroom we have a full-size RV outside, and we use the bathroom. It's heated out there. We're 50 amp service. We got propane. We have water. We have a portable tank. We just dump our disposable tank. So it's hooked up there. So she has a good bathroom. We're good like that. You know, a 2-hour shower. No, we can't shower for 2 hours, but we have hot water on demand and stuff. We're okay. I'm just saying you can't turn on the faucet and you have running water for an hour. That's all I meant. She takes care of herself. We shower. But you know what I mean? It's just you work for what you got out here. That was what I was saying. Like, we can still have everything you guys have. It's just you're heating up your water, you're filling up your propane for your hot water on demand. You know what I mean? You're carrying your own wastewater, your gray water tank, your black water. You got to dispose of those. You know, it's you work. You're kind of carrying your own shit around, basically. Playing with your own shit. But we're never going to build in here. Everybody asks why I haven't built a bathroom or a kitchen. This is 400 square feet. Well, a little bit more. This is just under 500 square feet. This will be my art studio only. We are going to build a full-fledged house or cabin right in my lot next to me. Or we're going to bring in a double-wide modular. So I will never build. This was never bought to build. This is only going to be a shed. We're just utilizing it for space right now. But we're never going to build a bathroom in here. We're not going to plumb this. This is always going to be a dry cabin. We'll use it for storage. We'll use it for my art. You know, we keep all of our dog foods in here, all of our wood. This will be perfect when we build next door. A lot of people are confused why I haven't built a bathroom. My RV is fully contained, so we just take a shit in there, and then when the tank, I have a portable tank, we just pop it in my truck and go up to the spot and dump it. Super easy. The only thing is that the gray water freezes right now, so we got to regulate the water. We actually drain it daily now. As in the summertime, you can let your holding tanks fill up and then just drain those. You know what I mean? But everything's, you know, even working in the parks, Shenandoah, we took our RV, not this RV, we took our last RV up to Shenandoah in 2012, I think the last year we went up there. Anyways, even up, you know, Shenandoah, I think it's only 9,000 feet, but that's frozen up there. So even then we had to keep our tanks, you know, under in a heated area in my RV, and we had to undo the hoses every day. And it's always been this lifestyle, man. Kind of feel bad for the wife. Not bad, but it's kind of funny. She's living the life in America that her ancestors and her grandparents lived in Thailand. And it's the life that I thought I would live with my wife. Like, my dream was to have a Thai wife that loved farming and fishing, and we would go and retire in Thailand and have a farm. And so I met my wife, and all that happened. We went to Thailand, and it was all, I manifested it. It was perfect. Her family's farmers, and they've got farmland, and my wife actually has a piece of land from her family. It's her and her two sisters have land that her family gifted them, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be perfect. But that's not my wife. My wife has nothing to do with farming and fishing and all that. I'm like, put on the brakes, screeching halt. So yeah, I manifested everything except that part. I realized quickly it wasn't her dream, so here we are in the middle of a compromise. But we're almost done compromising. We're rent free, we're saving money. You know, my wife's, you know, it is what it is. That's all I can say. Teamwork makes the dream work. Teamworks, baby. Teamworks. Yeah, we could have heated blankets. I could never use a heated blanket personally. I sleep with one leg out of my blanket. I like it 1 foot cold. I'm not a hot guy. A heat blanket wouldn't work for me, but it'd be nice. I mean, I don't know what, maybe probably never, but I don't think my wife would use one either, quite honestly. We like it a little chilly. And we have Husky. We're a little bit cool. Yeah, I mean, it's only probably 60 degrees in the cabin right now, and I run around like this in shorts and barefoot. Matter of fact, I have sweaty armpits right now just because I'm sitting by the fire. So I get hot real easy. Yeah, my socks. Good idea. Good idea. I gotta start drying. Pretty soon. I got a big day today. Big day. Dry my socks off. I mean, obviously we don't have running water. We can't wash our clothes out here, so we do go to the laundromat, and that's kind of what I was getting at too. But you know, I'm sorry, but who wants easy? I'm not even searching for easy. Like, where's the challenge in life when everything's laid out for you? You know, you're going you go into the next room, you're washing your clothes, you go and turn on the water, you go plug in the microwave, you turn on your heat. That's called complacency. When complacency sets in with this guy, that's borderline depression. I need to challenge myself. I need struggles. Let's just say this. If I didn't have a struggle or something that I need, or if I woke up and everything was perfect in my life, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do. I've never had perfect. I don't want perfect. Didn't come from perfect. I'm not going to end up perfect. Nothing in between will be perfect. It don't even exist. So why would I start now? I couldn't imagine waking up like, let's just say this. If I won $100 million, I wouldn't line my life up to where it's all hunky-dory. I wouldn't eliminate the wood burning and the hauling of the water. You got to have something to challenge yourself and to motivate you and work towards. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want everything laid out like, I need the challenge. That's the point of waking up. It's not the destination. It's the journey. Like, I'm not trying to get to my end goal. I'm trying to enjoy this journey. You know, the hardships are part of it. That brings me closer to the Lord. And that's the ultimate goal, is just being God. I hate to say it like that, but the Christ is in us. It's stated in the Bible. Jesus is in us. We are Jesus. We are the Lord. We are the Christ. Don't be fooled. Don't be naive. Don't be egotistical. We are the Christ. The Christ is within us. Trust us. Jesus wants you to realize that. You have the gift of the Lord right in you. Yeah, no, California is its own entity. Like I said, I went to school, high school in San Bernardino. I went to college in Santa Monica. Lived everywhere, all Southern California. My mother and I had an apartment in San Bernardino with my Aunt Mary. And then, whatever. I've lived everywhere in Cali. All the cool spots anyway. I lived on the fault line in San Bernardino. That was really why my Aunt Mary moved back to Michigan. She moved out with my mother and me. She stayed there less than a year and she was gone. Those earthquakes used to freak her out. But in San Bernardino, you have earthquakes every day. And I mean every day. Some of them you wake up and your house is shaking like this. But some of them, they're like this. And those are the freaky ones. But every morning, living on the San Bernardino fault line, you're used to it. It's just your house moves like that. It's like, wow. But that freaks a lot of people out. Yeah. Don't you guys believe that? I mean, like, I'm not saying be excited about dying, but don't you foresee that the minute you snap out of this realm, our energy, the Lord, the creator of everything, which is God, which is all of the energy, our energy just meets and blends, comes. So don't you realize the minute we snap out of this realm, we open the real realm? So it's something to be excited about and not fear. That's kind of what I'm getting at. I want you to visualize there is no death. You go back into all in all we all are. We become all. And that's something to be excited about, people. I mean, that's something to be excited about. You guys want to go see the snowstorm? I could show you. I bet we have probably 6 inches right now. I haven't checked the forecast as far as last night. We were expected, it said 12 to 18 inches in our county plus the lake effect. I'm like, well, wait a minute here. 12 to 18 plus your lake effect. Lake effect means when you pour a beer and you get that foam every single time, that's the same thing with a lake effect. That's my analogy. It snows, you get the dust that comes from the powder from the storm, so to speak. Lake effect is just the regenerating of the moisture in the sky. Comes down, cold weather meets warm weather, produces moisture, lake effect, drops you off. It doesn't have to be a storm. It isn't a storm front moving in from the west. It's just different climate patterns, warm and hot. They meet each other, they rotate, they produce the moisture, producing the lake effect. Comes up, moves over, whichever, if you're in a cold front, whatever front it is. But anyway, so last night's warning was the snowstorm and then the lake effect combo. So we didn't know what to expect when we woke up. Yeah, no, I'm in Frederick, Michigan. You can Google it. It's called Frederick, Frederic. We get more snow than Grayling, Gaylord. We're the snow capital basically in Michigan, Frederick, Michigan. For some reason, we're real close to the 45th parallel. That the band comes across the jet stream, and it always does a loop right on that 45th. It's where the jet stream shoots up to the north, back to Canada, and it shoots back down south, south of us to the Appalachians and the Tennessee and all that. It's the jet stream. It goes both ways and continues on to the east. That's when the east gets the nor'easterns and the big patterns. That's when the main Gulf pattern, that Gulf Stream's just pushing through. A lot of the bands go that way and that way, but the majority of it goes straight, the nor'easterns. But anyways, you just never know, basically. Yeah, I'm not a fan anymore. But every morning we get out there and I'm running the dogs and it puts a smile on my face. So I bitch about it, but when we're out there, we're laughing and having fun. My Huskies, it brings so much joy to Huskies that how could I not love it? You know what I mean? That's what it's about. Living for my dogs vicariously. Living through my dogs vicariously, so to speak. I got to keep an eye on the clock. 6 o'clock. I got a big day today. Never had frostbite. Knock on wood. I would guess I'm a little more conditioned than the average person as far as cold temperatures and stuff like that. I'm pretty much, my mitochondria is conditioned quite well just because I'm out in the cold elements a lot and, I'm always wet. I'm always freezing. It's just sort of, if I'm not uncomfortable, I'm not comfortable. If I don't have something to be concerned about, then I have something to be concerned about. I wouldn't know, if I didn't need something in life, I wouldn't know how to be. Like I just told you guys, I don't want it all laid out on a silver platter for me. I wouldn't want all my bills paid and everything just prim and proper and all my clothes hung up in the closet. I'm good. I like dirt on my floor. I'm that guy. Okay? I've been living in a duffel bag my whole fucking life. True story. If you don't believe me, ask my wife. We're still living in duffel bags. I've been married 15 years, and we've been living in these duffel bags for 15 years. That's my clothes. If I need a pair of underwear, I got to get a bag down and dig around for it. It's so annoying. But I've learned to appreciate what I have. I'm just the average woman would have divorced me a long time ago. And I'm not surprised if my wife does want to divorce me, but I got to be strong on this one. I got to be strong on this one because my wife's going to be rent-free, debt-free, mortgage-free. You know what I mean? And my wife's very young. She's 15 years younger than me, so she's got a great opportunity if she just listens and lets me do this plan for her. She already is saving a good portion of money, and she realizes that a couple more years, listen to Daddy, you'll be shitting rainbows soon. Don't do what society wants you to do, people. You're rent free, but you live in a box, is what people say. Yup. Cars, health, knock on wood. Kind of have the ability to do what I want. And that's what living in a box does for you. Freedom. That's what I've been telling you guys. I suck. My life sucks. Like the average woman would look at me and go, oh, no thank you. I get it. I understand, but the thing is I'm not looking for easy. I'm not looking for approval. And I'm not looking for a good explanation. Nobody needs to explain anything to me. Right, sister? I can do bad all by myself. I don't need anybody else to help me do bad. I got it down pat. You guys got it? You understand that? We can do bad all by ourselves, people. Oh, it's 2:49 in the morning. Yeah, it's early. What time did I wake up today? It was yesterday. I woke up at 2:30 in the morning. Not to mention every 2 hours, I say wake up, and I mean get up. I'm up to stoke this all night, every day, 7 days a week. This don't shut off. I have to keep this going every day, all day. So every 2 hours, you got to get up to stoke this. Nobody else does that for me. I keep this place warm for us. I don't expect my wife to wake up and do this. My wife doesn't have anything to do with the chores out here. I'll make that clear. She's living out here in this lifestyle, but I do all the physical. So all she needs to do is stay warm and stay religious. Keep her faith, stay prayed, stay prayed. You know what I mean? Stay prayed. Because that's the important thing. Have your faith, be patient, stay warm, stay healthy, eat good, and everything else. Let me do the work for you guys. She don't shovel. She don't, you know what I mean? She don't have to do all the snow. She don't have to mess with the elements out here. I keep this place warm. I keep us plowed. Excuse me. Angel hours, you know it. This is when I'm inspired, when the rest of the world's sleeping. Normally, actually real soon, we run my dogs. I'm up we run at 3 in the morning out here. The trails are empty. There's no people snowmobiling. Hunting season's over. You're out there with fresh powder. You know what I mean? That's the time. So we run real early. Coming soon. We're just getting over hunting season up here, and snowmobile season's just starting, so we'll find our niche real quick here. I guess I'll take a backpack with me today. I don't know if I have a whole day in town or take some extra clothes. Am I walking today? I don't know what to expect today, but what's that noise? Funny you say that, angel hours. I feel certainly that. Couldn't have said it better. Excuse me. Kind of congested, headachy. Little bit. Well, funny you say that. That's a good idea. She could probably use some flowers right now. I feel like my wife's spirit's down a little bit. Funny you say that. She's a big baby, but not easy for her to be down. I try to. That's one thing. Don't take it so serious, honey. I'm always telling her that. You're not gonna die with any of this anyway. You can't bring your brand new car with you when you go. It's not healthy to take this life so damn serious, you guys. When my wife came back from Thailand, when we first got married, she had to leave the country for 2 years. And when I seen her for the first time after 2 years, she came off that plane, her first time in the United States. But she came off that plane swinging. She was militant, ready to work, career, just hustle mode. I didn't even know her. I didn't even know her anymore. She wasn't the same lady that she was when she left. But she came to this country on a mission to kick ass, take names. I said, you need to slow down right now. That's not who I am. That's not who we were. That's not what we agreed upon. It's not who you were when you left this country. It's not who you were when we met. And it's not who you're going to be during this marriage. And I'm not trying to be mean, but if you want to have a successful relationship, you better lose that ambition. So that's was the restructuring of my family immediately. She didn't like our land. She didn't like everything that I had my whole life before she got here. She didn't want any part of that. And I'm like, wait a minute. I had to put on the brakes. And now we're 16 years later. We've worked out the kinks, but my point was, I made a lot of compromises. I sold my land. She's made compromises living on my land. So we worked it out. And now she sees the big picture, but she was a brat. I'm not going to lie. When she came here, it was not easy. It was not easy. And I'm stubborn myself. I live like this. So anybody that lives like this, is already set in their ways. It's hard to get a guy living in the woods to want to go buy a condo in the city. We've been arguing about getting a mortgage for 15 years. All of our friends have mortgages, and I'm like, I don't want a mortgage. I pay for things cash. We own shit. Why do you got to get a mortgage? Let's take our time and buy it when we can afford it. Next year we could sell everything and we could buy a house with cash, for example. You know what I mean? Take your time, people. I would avoid the banks if I were you. Not trying to be mean, but I would avoid corporate America. I would avoid those mortgages at all cost if you can. Yeah, my wife's from Nong Han. That's the town she was from, but then the bigger town close to her is called Udon Thani. And then she's about an 8-hour drive from Bangkok. My mother-in-law and my sister-in-laws live in Bangkok. But my wife's family's house is in Nong Han. Not Hong Nam. That's restroom. Hong Nam. That means bathroom. Talk about Nong Han. Well, I mean, if this life was structured different, I'd be a material guy. If we, if we lived forever, I guess that's a good time to want to. If we never died, yeah, I guess I would want to start collecting things. But the fact that we don't get to take anything with us, does it mean anything? No, it don't. I mean, how long will this stick be in my hand, for example? If this was if this was kryptonite, and I could make people, if this was a magic wand, I could make you young, I could make you old, I could make you rich. How long would I hold this magic wand? And what happens when I'm gone? Here's an example. That's what happens when I'm gone. The wand's still there. You know what I mean? You're not taking it with you. That's my point. So why stress about it? Yeah, America is the demise on earth. We're excessive America. 5 cars in our driveway, 10-bedroom houses, fast food. Inspirational mix meeting. Right when my husband passed, sorry to hear that, my friend. I learned not to hold on to things and let go of the cars. Well, that's a good example. We have 3 cars because we need all 3 of our cars right now. My truck's 4-wheel drive and raised up. My van is from my painting company. And then my wife's little Jeep is 4-wheel drive for her. I live about 2.5 miles, depending on what trail I go. 2.5 miles this way, about 2 miles that way. So we're back in the woods pretty good. But yeah, that's a great example. Your husband's car collection. And that's a great example for him passing. It's like his pride and joy. He built those cars probably his whole life, collected them his whole life, held on to them his whole life. And they were probably a burden in your guys' life. Or maybe not, but things are burdens. They're in your driveway. They're in your yard. You're collecting dust. You're paying taxes on them. If you sell them, you got to pay capital gain taxes. You know what I mean? So things are burdens. What are you doing with those? And then he passed, for example, and now you've got those 10 cars in your driveway. They're a burden for you. Ultimately, what good did those cars do? I'm not talking about you. It's an example because you brought it up. They collected dust, you paid taxes on them, now you're stressed about selling them and where you're going to put them. Or you're stressed about selling your husband's pride and joy. Either way, did it create a good emotion from it? Did it evoke something? Did something good come out of it? That's just a point. Like, same with me when I die. This is, my wife get whatever. So it's like, what is she going to do with that crap? Absolutely nothing. It's going to be a burden for her. I'm just curious how it all transpired for you when you finally came up and got the courage to sell those cars, because I know in your heart you didn't want to sell your husband's beautiful cars. But then as time passed, I'm assuming your heart heals, and we never heal, but the wound closes a little bit and you get a little bit of closure from your husband, and then a little bit of joy comes back into our lives slowly but surely. And then you learn to accept our loss, and then you learn to let it all go. Like my niece Nevaeh, for the last 10 years, not the last 10 years, but for 10 years, I was cold as ice. But then finally, the good Lord gave me the clarity and said, listen, man, I've got this. She's with us up here. It's time to rejoice and be happy and celebrate. So now I don't have those sad feelings for my niece. It's all joy. You know what I mean? When I pray for her, my mom would have a great story.
my niece came to visit my mom and me the same day. And it was the day that my sister released her ashes on the river. My sister's daughter passed. We're talking about Nevaeh. And all of the family came up and everybody had their little portion of the ashes. And they went to the Asaba River and they dumped Nevaeh out onto the river. Well, that night, Nevaeh came to my mother, who's in Tennessee, and she came to me, and the same lady, the same dress, the same long hair, said the same damn thing, showed the same thing. And I called my mom that morning. I said, you wouldn't believe I had a dream about Nevaeh. My mom dropped the phone and said, Chad, I had a dream about Nevaeh. I said, really? What was your dream? She told me her dream. I told her my dream. It was the exact same dream. Nevaeh was a beautiful young lady. She was like 17. She was her real age, not the age when she died. She kept growing since she had passed away 15 years ago. So she was a teenager with hair down to her ass, and she just looked at me and gave me a big smile, and Jesus was right behind her, and Jesus just grabbed her hand, and Nevaeh turned right around, and that was all we ever needed to see. And she did the same thing to my mom. I'm like, oh my Lord, God is good. But anyways, I don't even know where I was getting with that story. But it was a good story. But yeah, so that she didn't even come to us until the night that my sister released those ashes on the river was the night that Nevaeh came to my mom and I. I'm like, that's a miracle. That's the power of the Lord. Yeah, he was killed 2 weeks before. Wow. They gave me the goosebumps talking about that. Of course, your husband came back. All you have to do is close your eyes and realize. And they never. So, yeah, I got the goosebumps right now because the power of the Lord's real. I want to tell you, don't be fooled. You're on this channel right now. You and I connected for a reason. And there's no coincidences. Inspirational mixed meeting. Yeah, you certainly feel his presence. And that's what it is. So I don't say it much, but I just lost my best friend. My cousin Gretchen just killed herself. She was a photographer, professor in New York, up at a university in New York. She was a phenomenal artist, a phenomenal musician. But she was struggling with mental illness her whole life. She got in a car accident with brain damage, and anyways, but she was the greatest soul. She was solely responsible for making me laugh more than anybody in my life has ever made me laugh. Gretchen and I had more laughs, nothing but laughs, than anybody I've ever met. And then second to that was my best friend, Tim Shepard. Those two made me laugh more than anybody, and they still make me laugh. But anyways, Gretchen just killed herself, and I'm not ready to talk about it, I guess, but yeah, I guess I'm not ready to talk about it. Anyways, the Lord let us know that we're together. Just leave it at that. Not ready to tell the story still. Anyways, but we lost our best friend, and she's here. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, hurts. It's fresh. Yeah. But I feel you. And I pray for Mike, that's for sure, because it's seriousness. But out of it comes joy. Somewhere deep comes a joy that we got to experience. I think the lesson is that it comes It's the gift that we had to share life with them. It's like, yeah, the pain's never going to go away. But the fact that we were even able to experience living with such a beautiful person sucks, it hurts, it's never going to go away. Her mom, my Aunt Laura, my best friend, it was her daughter we're talking about, and this is just a couple months ago. My Aunt Laura and I have never even talked yet because we can't talk to each other about it. It's never gonna go away. It's because we don't go away, people. It's a great example of what I'm talking about. Energy does not die. But I can tell you the story. And you would flip out. You wouldn't believe it if I tell you the story with Gretchen, and I'm going to finish the story. So, Gretchen died a few months ago. And Gretchen was truly my best friend, and she was just that soul. She had a million best friends, and I didn't realize that everybody ever crossed her. I'm reading the post online. Seeing the people that knew her, and the life celebration party that they had for her, and what everybody's testimonies. And I didn't realize, but Gretchen, she had like 100 best friends, and everybody, they're like, "Oh, you're her best friend? Oh, wait a minute, I thought I was her." That's how everybody that she came across was her best friend. She was the biggest heart that I've ever met in my life. The definition of joy. She was definitely the definition of joy. Anyways, I gotta tell you the story because it's from God. And let me get the courage and the strength to tell the story. Hang in there, people. I am strong. It just hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. It shouldn't hurt bad. I'm selfish for letting it hurt. That's the thing. It's supposed to be love and celebrating right now, but it still hurts, and that's the human nature to go through mourning like that. Sorry. I will laugh here in a minute. I will laugh because she's so funny. Gretchen made me laugh so much. She don't want us to sit and cry for her. She'd slap me in the head if she knew I was crying right now. Strong. She's a strong-hearted woman, man. But it's selfish to cry because it's a celebration. I got to live with her. Anyways, so I prayed when she died recently. I thought I was going to have a heart attack because my heart had just... I almost fainted. I fell to the floor, and I was just like, there's no way Gretchen's dead. There's no fucking way Gretchen's dead. I couldn't believe it, and I had to breathe it took me a long time to come to terms. And so I was on my knees praying, and I'm just begging, past praying, literally begging Jesus. I said, Lord, give me the sign that Gretchen's with you in heaven. You know, I need clarity now. I'm struggling here. I'm hurting bad, and I need clarity. And so my wife was out thrift shopping, and I'm going to show you just because it's unreal. My wife is from Thailand. She doesn't read English a lot. There's nothing hidden. And she came back with a robe, a beautiful robe for me. you know, my wife, she's crazy when she picks out clothes for me. We don't worry about fashion. We're not a fashion family. But anyway, oops, wrong side. She picked out this beautiful robe, okay? And I wore the robe for about a week, but I'm like, gosh, there's something special about this robe. It just feels warm. I feel energy. It feels like when I put this long robe on that it's from God. I felt like an energy. And I told my wife, I'm like, man, that robe's just like weird. And, I'm like, showed my mom. And finally, I'm looking at the robe. I'm going, what's up with this thing? And sure enough, look what the robe says. Gretchen's hug. So like 2 days after my cousin Gretchen died, I prayed hard, give me a sign. And my wife comes home from a thrift store. My wife didn't see this. She just looked at at this and said, wow, that'd be cool for my husband. Brought it home to me. And then on the inside, it says, yes, Chad, I'm with Jesus. And this is your sign. This is your hug from me. And this was the tag that the robe said. And it's got a picture of two people wearing the robe. Gretchen's hug. And I tell you what, as you see the robe, I sleep with it. I pray to this robe. It's next level. And that's the good Lord, the power of Jesus. And even in the tag, it says Gretchen's hug with two people inside of the robe. This is my cousin Gretchen in a nutshell. And she's here right now. Boom. And I just thought that was magic. That's the power of Jesus right there, baby. That's the power. Yeah, no. I know I tried to be tough guy. It's so fresh with my friend Gretchen, my best friend. We had a family dream that we hugged many years ago. My cousin Gret, she's a phenomenal photographer. She taught people at the university in New York. She was a professor out there, and that's what made it even harder that she's gone, because she was struggling with mentally, but she was so successful on all levels. But mental illness is within. You don't know when somebody's struggling. Robin Williams, the comedian, was a prime example. He made people laugh his whole life, but he was struggling with mental illness. But anyways, hurts like hell. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm messed up inside right now. I don't know what it is. I always feel the good Lord's presence. And that, with the combination of losing loved ones, and God has them, and I don't know, when I wake up happy every day and I meet one good person talking about the Lord, like I'm more than serious. Inspirational mix meeting. It's like, just you made my day, you made my life. I love you. Like, I don't even know you, but I'm like shaking inside just because it's God, it's Jesus, He's here. He wanted us to talk this morning. He brought you to me this morning for a reason. We're not done mourning. Probably will never be, But He brings Christians and like-minded people together to heal and to help others. So today's the first day of the rest of our lives. I love your husband, Mike. Shit, man, I know he was a good guy. And he had to pass away first to give you the certain clarity that you needed to succeed. And it had to be this way. It was part of the plan. We can't be mad at Jesus ever. That's the thing. You can never be mad at the Lord. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be our plan. Our plan isn't Jesus's plan for us. He's got a whole different plan. But you have to learn to accept when you think you're going to take a right turn at the stop sign, you better pray, and if he wants you to go left, you better just accept it and go left and stop fighting it. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about anybody that watches. It's time that you give your day to the Lord. I'm on my knees praying for clarity, for the right answers. I don't want to make decisions on my own anymore. I'm 53 years old. I don't want to make decisions on my decisions haven't been right in life. I want my decisions to be through Jesus and the most powerful decisions I can make as a human, you know. I'm hurting inside. I've been hurting since I was a kid. I'm hurting that we lost family. I'm hurting, you know what I mean? But you build that nest around that, the wounds. You basically cover your wounds with a nest and you move forward, but you just put the wounds aside and you put them away deep for life. You go through life with them being there, but you know, they never go away. You just be strong. But I love Jesus so much. Your husband's up there right now watching us talk going, who is this guy? Who is this guy that my wife's talking to? Like he's up there with Jesus going, Jesus loves this guy that you're talking to right now. You know, Mike's up there saying, damn, I'm so fortunate that my wife's got to hook up with this guy today. My wife's in good hands with this guy. Oh, Daddy's okay, honey. We're happy. I'm not crying. My huskies, they freak out when Daddy cries out of nowhere, but it's the good Lord, baby. That's the good Lord. I feel your husband too, man. I feel like Mike. I feel Mike for sure. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Your husband loves you so damn much. Yeah, I would give you a big hug right now. You might as well consider yourself getting a big hug from our family. I don't know why the temperature's dropping. Feels cooler in here, but oh man. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you know, we don't come from perfect, but that's what the Lord wants. You know, perfect, a lot of people that came from perfect struggle as they get older. You know what I mean? They struggle because they never knew what it was like to have to do on their own, for example. So when you think you've had a rough life, which I don't, like I don't think I had a rough upbringing at all. I look at the forerunners of this country, our ancestors who had to pave the way for us, that, you know, our farmers and the builders and the inventors and the innovative people. Those are the people that struggled. How, as a society nowadays, could you consider yourself struggling unless we have a mental illness or a physical impairment? I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about if you're able-bodied, how can you say you're struggling in today's society? We have everything at our access. Good girl. You want to go outside? It's going to be a long morning for you guys. Yeah. No, I don't want to sit and pretend I'm on here like Mr. Tough Guy either, not physically but mentally. No, I'm hurting. I like my cousin Gretchen, that all I have to do is say it, or I also have that feeling of her being with the Lord, so that creates happiness, but I'm right on the line of just broke. I'm still broken from her being gone. That's all I'll say. I'm still broken. It's never gonna heal like my her mom. Her mom and I can't even talk. We've just text. We've never had a conversation yet, and I just can't talk to my Aunt Laura yet. It's too fresh. But the words of encouragement were, Chad, it's never gonna go away. You need to embrace that. I said, damn. I've lost loved ones too, but this is a little different. This is my best friend. Well, inspirational mix, I'm going to let this go. Subscribe to my channel and then leave me a comment, and then I'm going to follow you back. But I go live super early in the mornings, about 7 days a week, usually before the average person is awake. But I love you, my friend. I really hope I can see you again. Try to find me. God bless you.